Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up your class diagram and I'm going to do it using the little breakout game. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is load up the breakout game, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to show the final state of our prototype. Okay, so we can leave that as the documentation as it stands for the end of the system. Okay, so I've got mine open now, and in Solution Explorer, if you right click on where it says code and say view, and you'll see you'll get an option saying class diagram, and what it'll do is it'll build the class diagram. It might chug around for a little while, um, like it's doing, and then it'll create the diagram. So I just want to drag Solution Explorer out of the way, so I'm just going to move that. I don't need that at the minute. So what we've got are all the classes of the project that we've got. Now some of these are part of the template and we're not really bothered about those, so we're going to close all those and get rid of those from the diagram. And so I'm going to go through them. I have put the list on the assignment brief, but I'll just get rid of all the ones now in front of you. So we don't want GM, so I'm going to right click on it and say remove from diagram. You can press, oh, I've removed the whole diagram. Hang on, undo. Right click, remove from diagram. That's better. I don't know what happened there. I don't want program, so I'm going to right click on that and say remove from diagram. What else don't I want? Score entry. So if I just select it, I think I can just press delete. So yeah, that's quicker. Score system I don't want. Menu initial I don't want. Cursor I don't want. And marker I don't want. So what I'm left with is all the classes that I've defined. So you need to do the same for your project also. Now, the other thing we need to do is open all these classes up. The basic setup, we don't need to open that, but we're going to open up all the ones that we've defined, like game setup, title setup, paddle. Remember, this is the breakout game. Ball. You'll see that they overlap, but we'll sort that out in a minute. The level generator, the brick, and the message types. Okay, so I'm just going to move the diagram items around a little bit, just so they're not overlapping. What we're going to do is we're going to save this as a picture eventually. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is, at the moment we've got minimal information, but what we want are data types, and we want return types and parameter types on all the methods. So if we right click on a blank part of the diagram, we can say change member format, and we'll select display full signature. Now, what you'll see is they've all got wide, and they're too big for the screen. Now you can, I think you can right click and say layout diagram. That does not layout diagram, undo that. If you just do undo, if you do something wrong, it'll go back to a previous state. I think it was adjust width. So if you do adjust width, then it makes them wide enough. So we've got to move them around again so we can see. Let's move that level, just put level there. I need to make a little bit of space for that title setup one. Put that there. Okay, so now I can see I've got all the return types. Once you've got your diagram, and you can zoom in and out so you can lay this out better. Okay, oops, didn't scroll very well there. Right, once you've got your diagram as you want it, it doesn't matter how tidy it is, as long as we can see everything. If we right click and say export diagram as image, you have to right click on a white part of the diagram, and it'll ask you what you want to export. Pick your location. So I'll save this, well, what should we call it? It doesn't give me a chance to rename it, but I can rename it in a minute. We can pick different formats, but PNG is probably a fair format to pick. So I'm going to export that. Okay, and just to check, I've got that. So here's my class diagram. So this, if I do a preview on this, just to look. Okay, and there you go. It's got my class diagram, and it's made the image just the right size to fit everything on. Then what I want you to do, you can print that as it is, but it'd be easier if you just use the picture printer and make sure you untick. So pick your format. So let's say I was going to send it to a printer. Need to make sure I set it to A4. Don't know why it's gone letter format. And then make sure you untick fit to frame because you want to see the whole picture. Okay. If you've got a picture that's too big, we might have to load it up into fireworks and split it up. It depends on how complicated your game's ended up and how many classes you've got. Okay, but you can, and I'll show you. So I'm not going to print it, but that's how I could print it. You could remove things from the diagram, save it, and then add things back into the diagram. Because if we like go add, where do you add group members? I don't know how you do that. I think you can drag something on. Let's say I wanted to drag something on. I'm just going to remove some of these. So let's say I was just going to keep those three and do a diagram and print that out. And then I thought, oh, hang on a minute, I want to add ball in. So I think you can just drag them over and open them up. Yeah. So you can drag them in from the Solution Explorer. So you could do it in a couple of different stages if you've got too many objects. Okay, but that's how I want you to set that up. Okay, so that's your final class documentation for your prototype. Okay.